Yay, everybody! Welcome to Fresh Out the Box. Today, we are playing Wild Sea from Felix Isaacs, an indie developer that just got done releasing his Kickstarter, and it's available for pre-order now. I am the Game Master, Johananan.
I am the co-host of Fresh Out the Box. It's me, Casualty CDG, and Jahan, you didn't mention that our buddy Felix Isaacs actually came on the show and taught us how to play the game. He showed us how to play the game, and we got a taste, we got a scoop from the man himself. We're happy to come back to return to what is this, episode 2?
Episode dose, yeah.
Technically, our third one after our session 0. So welcome back to our ongoing campaign. I'm looking forward to reprising my role as Sarast, the spitborn Selachrai slinger, armed with his shotgun and revolver.
And I am playing Anakian. I guess the main thing I want to do is fight some big things.
Hey folks, I'm Matt, scenic and lighting designer out of Houston, Texas. But tonight, I'm playing a squid-faced man named Yoshine the Lost.
What's up, everybody? My name is Kevin, also coming at you from currently chilly, Houston, Texas. Tonight, I will be playing the role of Navigator Wilson Oars. Oh, howdy, hey there. How was your day? I'm just here to check some stuff out and, kind of feel the situation as we've gone. I've repupated so many times now that it sort of all blends together, so just kind of here for a good time. We'll see what happens. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot that was your name. That's hilarious. Both of you guys made me laugh during the intro. Congratulations. So, hey everybody watching. Welcome back. If you don't know the deal, you have power when you're watching us. You can boon, you can doom, and you can give me power-ups. So spend those channel points and do that to help or hinder our crew here. Kevin with the you betcha vibes. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so where we last left off, you guys had traveled into a forming rift in the Wild Sea. Rifts are things that occur sometimes, but not often. And sometimes they can go all the way down to the very deepest depths of the undersea. You guys went in investigating on this tree waterfall. You found a relic of the past, an ancient building, which purpose is hard for you to tell from where you are. But we all know it. It's an old power substation that's been drawing lightning from the sky. You guys made it through an electrified hallway and you entered a room. The room has broken catwalks that are going down on opposite sides, that forming ramps up to the catwalks that remain on the walls. And there is a big generator with Tesla coils, the whole shebang, in the middle of the room. Where we last left off, you guys heard a bunch of squeaking on the catwalks up above. And as you look, you see one directly above you and one on the catwalk up high across the way. These sort of mechanized beings. They are humanoid. They kind of have like deep sea diver looking suits on, but they are mech suits. And inside you can see their former passengers, skeletons hanging out. And they are moving. From around the big generator, however, a much larger mechanized being struts out. This one does not seem to be weakened, damaged, but it does seem to have been jury-rigged with some sort of modifications. And as it stands up to its full height, a good 9 feet tall, you see lightning arc from the generator to its body as it powers up. But yeah, that's what you see.
Dare I say, we should target that generator if we want that to shut down.
With an axe?
Sure, spread out! And I'll kind of fan my arms and tell everyone to spread out and pull my 2 guns out from inside the mass of spiders that is my body.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will blast with my black market pistol, and I don't know how combat works in this game.
Combat works the same way every other roll works. You tell me what you're doing, tell me what kind of damage you're doing, and you roll your pool of dice. So,
I'm shooting with my black market pistol.
okay.
It deals long-range blast damage, is what
Okay.
it says. And I do have to mark an aspect for that. Or, it is an aspect. I don't know if I have to mark it or not. I guess that's up to you.
No, you don't have to mark your aspect every time you use it. Only some of them. A lot of times, like if you fail critically, maybe your gun jams, you mark an aspect.
Okay, cool.
Or maybe you take damage, someone punches you in the gun.
Yeah, I'd like to blast a round off at the generator itself.
Generator
Is there and then I guess I should ask before I fire. There's not like a red barrel next to the generator, is there?
No.
Okay, if there is, you gotta ask the easy questions. You know what I mean?
There are things on the ceiling and whatnot hanging from the ceiling. Like lamps, and like loose piping, that kind of stuff. It is an industrial wreck.
So I just do a quick optical pat down, as it were, and I don't see anything explosive, so I fire at the generator.
Absolutely, go ahead, and you got an edge for that. I'll help you build your pool as a refresher.
The edge, I think, would be teeth.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then I actually surprisingly don't have shoot in my combat. That's when I built this character. He was initially melee, so I may need to go back over my stats at the end of this session. But I don't have extra shoot skill at this moment in time.
Do you have melee
I
skill?
believe you can still use it. You're just not as good at it.
Yeah, you can still use it. Do you have melee skill?
I had hunt and break. And outwit, if you think outwit applies to this situation, since I'm not firing at the monster.
You could use break for sure.
Okay, I'll use break.
You could definitely break's probably the most optimal for this. How
so
many?
we've got
Yeah.
break 1.
Okay, so that's 2 dice altogether.
We've got veils, and we've got the aspect, if that does anything.
No. The aspect
Okay.
is just allowing you to do what you're doing.
So 2d6.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly
Oh,
what
no.
you want for your first roll of the Snake eyes, double ones, a 2 altogether, my friend.
So as you're about to fire, you realize something about this room. It's like very humid in here. It's very moist, and that's not your typical fighting situation. Your gunpowder got wet, friend. It blows. It just the sparks just shoot out the side. Now mark an aspect off your track.
That creature's doing something to make our weapons ineffective.
But yes, now mark your track. He rolled 2 ones for those of you at home. I shall show you thusly. Maybe. I might show you thusly. I'm not showing
Would
you
that
thusly.
be spicy or anti-spicy? What is anti-spicy?
Tea.
Mayonnaise.
The sweetness.
Yeah.
Something
So,
can be sweet and spicy.
anyone...
I'll stop being off topic.
No, you're good. Whoever wants to grab focus now is your time to shine, quite literally.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, you can go. You can go.
I was just gonna ask a question. So I believe salt damage is actually like more effective against like things like equipment or ships.
It is.
Is that true?
true?
It is.
Metal takes increase. So like you're at an advantage against these automatons. What that means is you'll have more impact. I'm going to try and use as many of the rule terms as I can. Impact is how many boxes you check off of their markings. So whenever you shoot a robot, you'll check more boxes than someone who doesn't do salt damage.
Well, I have my Phantom Blade, which I can just command.
Yes.
And I don't need to be with it.
Mhm.
So I think I am going to attack one of the robots with salt damage.
Which one? There are the two. There's the one right above you guys on a catwalk. There's the one on the catwalk opposite of you. And then there's the gigantic one.
Going for the big thing.
That makes sense for your character. Okay. Go ahead. Choose your
I've got
edge.
teeth.
Yeah, that's good.
I've got teeth, and I've got 3 in break.
That's fair. So that's 4 dice. And I'm actually choosing to give you an extra dice because you chose to go for the big thing because that's your character's. I'm going to reward that role play with the extra dice. Okay. So you have a success. You got a 6, which is a full success, but there is a twist. And in this particular instance, you're going for the big thing, and you manage to do extra damage to it. So you are, because this is a break check, you go for a full success, and there's a twist. You hit this thing, and it bounces off, and it hits the generator, damaging it as well.
The sound of that.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I guess you're using a sword. So, yeah, your sword slashes through this thing and then sticks into the generator as well. So I'm marking those tracks. And then, which one of you two would like to grab focus next?
I would like to grapple hand into the air, swing above the generator, and then just come down hard with my axe.
On the generator?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Let me know what edge you're using for that. It doesn't have that one. Does not have to be teeth. You could use. Actually, this quick reference has all that information.
I would like to. Okay, so I'm using my axe and break and teeth.
Teeth does work. Yeah, absolutely. So axe, break, teeth. How many ranks you got in break?
Just one.
Okay, what kind of damage does your axe do?
It deals DQ hewing damage.
Hewing. Okay. Split and break. All right. So for that, yeah, go ahead and roll 3 dice.
Sweet. What is it?
Okay. So, on an attack, a 3 is a miss, does no damage, also suffers a downside, like a conflict result. But there's a twist. So twists. Essentially it's a critical, but since there is a kind of a offshoot here, so what's going to happen, I'll explain it. You do hit, you crash into this generator, absolutely. The generator does explode. It was already a little hurt. You do get a critical hit on it. Your axe takes a hit for this. So essentially, like, you're just not getting out of the way you should have. You just kind of go at it with reckless abandon. The adverse effect is that you watch as it's blowing up, the big robot absorb a bunch of the electricity. And you see some of the hewing damage starts to get knitted back together by these little tiny, like, crab pincer things that are on its armor. It starts to fix itself.
Oh my.
Gross.
So that's the adverse effect. Kevin.
Yeah.
Are you in the boat? No, you came down. Yeah. What you do?
I think I used like the rigging to tie the wheels steady.
Yeah.
No, I think we dropped anchor, obviously. I don't think the boat ran away without us.
No, it didn't. Also, you have people, you have NPCs aboard that can pilot the ship in need, when you're in need.
Gotcha. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, we are all still bound by the rigging that we dropped into this hole with, right? With the exception of myself, who is not bound. Like our little ankle ropes, did we track those all the way in here? Or how
No,
far in are
I
they?
highly doubt it. They wouldn't have reached.
I was about to pull this right out. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna attack this thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the straps of my dragonfly backpack, and I'm gonna kind of waddle up to it, and I'm gonna attack it. The edge I want to use for this is iron. Why wouldn't a tiny moth person be iron? Helps weather damage, help direct attack. The stuff. And I want to hit it with a really heavy sword that I have. So out of this backpack, I'm gonna pull out what's sort of like a, I don't know, scimitar, or however you say that.
I like the
Scimitar.
way you say it, Kevin.
But a jumbo version, right? So, and then we're gonna swing away, George.
Is that science?
Of course, though, Wilson Ors will walk straight up to it, pull the sword out, and then before swinging, howdy, hey, how's your day? And then, wow, go for it.
Excellent. Yeah, go ahead and give me that roll. That is
Find the damage.
2 dice?
Not sure what the giant sword's base is.
It's not like a damage thing. That's different. Do you know what kind of damage it does?
The sword?
Yeah.
So traditionally it does, I think, keen damage.
Yeah, it
but
probably does keen.
this one's huge, so I don't know if that changes anything.
I don't think it does. So yeah, go ahead and roll your 2 dice, I believe. How many ranks do you have in your skill? Sorry.
Well, we were allowed to double up on skill points, right?
Yeah.
2 in strike.
Oh, then yeah, absolutely. Roll 3. Roll 3 dice.
Gotcha.
Let me know what you get.
Ow. 12. 165.
Oh, you got a 6. So you got a 6. That is a triumph. So your sword comes crashing into the big one, you said?
Yeah, like the main golem thing that
Main
absorbed
guy.
all the
Yeah. So as he's knitting back together, you cut off the claws that are fixing him. So essentially what you're doing is, instead of hurting him, you stop him from healing, which has the same effect. You cut off his means of healing. But now he's a robot. He's not actually mad. But he's going to move on you. And he's going to rear up. He's close to you. I guess he's close to Matt. He's going to go ahead and he's just going to shoot off a bunch of lightning. So the two of you that are close, go ahead and avoid it. Which does, there is roll building. I promise it'll get easier. So you can, I feel like instincts could work. Grace could work. And iron could probably work.
So I started to really like role building during the Modifius 2D20 system. It's definitely kind of strange at first, but once you realize that the skills are pretty flexible, you can do the thing if it makes sense, right? If you can explain why and how you do it for that reason. These systems allow for that flexibility, which is really cool.
No,
And we are allowed to use aspect as well, right?
Yeah, so you can do an edge, you can do a skill. If an aspect applies, you can absolutely use it. Yeah.
If I may, I would like to use Grace, Leap, and Grapple Hand.
That's fair.
Cool. I have 2 in Leap.
So that is, 4 dice.
Nice.
I will say that your grapple hand gives you an advantage in this roll. Honestly, I probably should have given Gary an extra dice earlier because he was using a gun. But hey.
I also rolled Snake Eyes, so I don't think it would have much mattered.
I got a 6.
You did get a 6. You got a 6, no doubles. So that is a complete success. This thing goes, and you just grapple hand onto the railing, and you fly up. And when you look, you see this other golem standing there. A smaller one, but he's standing there about to swing on you. Kevin. Mr. Oh, you betcha.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Steal Your Girl, more like it.
God damn it, Kevin.
Anyway, I think I'm gonna go with. Well, and you may want to shoot me down in this in advance. I'm thinking here that I have a couple of options, and I want to use an aspect called spectral variance, which I believe comes from my anchored shit, and it makes me incorporeal and able to pass through solids. So I feel like makes sense that solids would pass through me as well. I want to try that, but I also want to use teeth as the edge, and strike, of course, as combat. I'm wondering if you'll allow me to counterattack because I didn't dodge, but I just let it punch through me, and then I can recorporealize and slash again.
And you have a track for being a ghost?
It is a aspect, yes. It's a three track aspect called spectral variance. I believe it's an anchored.
Okay. I thought you were a Mothrin. But no.
Anchored is the other. It's like the origin, I think it's called. Mothrin's my bloodline.
Right. Okay, so you are... Yeah, go ahead and mark. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to have you mark that aspect one. So, like, you use it in a pinch, and you kind of get a diminished return on that. But, yeah, go ahead and attack this thing
X
back.
or an O?
An O.
Solid. I think that's better. I don't know if that's hugs or kisses, but I'll take it.
Yeah, X's mean you're burning the slot, and it's much harder to regain those.
Cool, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand there and be like, oh dear. And then I'm going to turn incorporeal, take a slight step probably to the side, and then go ahead and lash out with the teeth and strike ability.
Yeah. No, I don't hate it.
How many Ds? Because I'm taking a loss, right?
How many what?
How many dice should I roll?
So you got teeth, so that's one. You're using your sword again, that's going to be another one. And then what's your... I think you had a skill of 2, right?
Right, correct.
So that's 4 dice.
And the incorporeal, like, burn slot thing will not drop that number?
No. The drop, the fact that you burnt that thing is what gave you the ability to roll in the first place. But yeah, that...
Double sixes.
Double sixes. So you recorporeal eyes with your sword still partially in him, and you just you cut this thing open. Its guts spilling out, its mechanical guts, and what was left of its former pilot as well. Some bones kind of fall out of this thing.
Oh, howdy, hey, are you okay?
So the next battle bot, one of the smaller automatons is going to swing at the grapple-handed hero that's right in front of him. So go ahead and it's just a punch. It's not an electrical discharge this time, but get out of the way of that.
Ooh.
I don't think I actually ever get to roll, which is interesting. This is one of those settings where I don't roll, which is, I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Is there anything around me that I can climb?
Ooh, everyone's been booned, FYI.
Ooh.
On your next roll, yeah, all of you have a free dice to use whenever. What were you saying, Matt?
Is there anything around me that I can climb?
So you are pretty high up, but there is like a pipe that you could like jump off. No telling whether or not it's going to hold, but there is some nonsense hanging from the ceiling for sure.
I think I just want to try to jump back. So, leap and grace.
Awesome. The flying jellyfish.
And I will use my boom.
You use your boon, okay, absolutely.
Boom, 6.
Well, you know what that means. So you have a success with a twist. Twists aren't necessarily a bad thing. Twists are often a good thing. Even if you fail a roll, sometimes a twist can save it. In this case, you're going to jump backwards, and you land with both feet on the edge of the rail. And when you do, you hear as the whole catwalk comes tumbling down. But you stick the landing anyways. Still, you land on the ground. The automaton falls without any sense of grace whatsoever. And it takes damage. That's your twist for you. Now the battlefield's slightly different. We're going to go shoot back over. So there is one that's still above. But like I said, these things aren't graceful. They're not fast. It's starting to go down the ramp. Like it's taking the ramp. Go ahead, Gary. We'll go back to the top of the order.
Use a smoke bomb and a sawed-off shotgun in the same round.
We'll see why not.
I'm going to run.
That's what the pros do.
I'm going to run, and my run is almost a gallop. The way that this spider colony Celicry moves, it's not really a bipedal run. That would be too hard to keep balance. So as these almost tendrils of spiders stack and push me along the ground, I charge towards this thing, and a smoke bomb just comes whirling out of the spiders within me, and I pull out a copper sawn-off shotgun and run into the smoke. The smoke, I will mark, it makes a cloud obscuring vision in my area for others, but not for me. And then the sawn-off can deal long-range blast or assault damage. And so I'll run up and get him with that blast damage.
I will remind you, salt damage does extra damage to automatons and metal creatures.
Oh, I thought it did extra damage to plants. Well, then I will use it here. Yeah, I'll gladly use my salt damage.
It might do extra damage to plant. It makes sense for it to rust stuff to me, though.
I figured it would, like when you cut plants and then salt them, they don't grow back.
Sure.
I figured it was like a hacker type of tool to cut through and then salt stuff.
Either way, it's assault with a deadly weapon.
All right, I'll blast him.
I'm sorry, Kevin. I saw your disappointment.
And I do have shoot, because it's not called shoot in this system. It's actually called rattle. It's just called shoot on the character sheet.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. So I do have one level of rattle.
Excellent.
So I would
also,
like to use...
gain a point of advantage on top of whatever else you had because of the smoke bomb.
Cool. So I'm going to use my boon that I was given. My smoke bomb gives me one. I'm going to use Veils since it's stealthy for 3. And then my shotgun should make it 4. Okay, so here's my 4d6. My highest one is a 5, and no doubles for me.
No doubles for you. So, 5. So 5 is a success with a drawback. You shoot at this thing. This thing's still coming down the ramp. What happens is you shoot it, and you kind of blast away some of the railing. It's gonna fall like towards you as you shoot it. You do the damage, you do hit it, and it has a higher impact, like I said, because it's salt. Go ahead and get out of the way.
Okay, no problem. I do have one skill in dodge. So Veils, since I'm in the smoke bomb, so Veils, smoke bomb, dodge. Looking at a 3d6er here.
So it is, well, yeah, sure. I'll say yes.
My high one is again a 5.
So you succeed with a conflict here. So you get out of the way. The conflict is going to be when it hits the ground, it falls with like force and it falls like a pancake. The force of the wind blows your smoke away. So that's your downside. But you do hit it, and you do quite a bit of damage. So
he goes boom, he falls prone, and all the smoke blasts away.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm cool with that.
This is going well. So Misha.
All right, so you're saying there's 2 fighter bots left?
There's 2 fighter bots left. They're both medium size. They're both like human size, and they're both hurt.
They're both hurt. All right, I think I'm gonna try something. It's not really an aspect. I just think it sounds cool, and for what I know about science, which is not much, it possibly could happen. So I was wondering. So I was wondering if instead of like kind of using my salt blade as a ranged weapon, if I were to hold it, stab somebody and then kind of also have like another hand on them, could I try to short circuit one of these bots out and just fry it from the inside?
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to note you have been booned again. This time by a different person. Only you though. And then Gary, you've been doomed, sir.
Yeah, I saw that.
Your very next roll will have a cut of 1.
Yeah, that's great.
It's thanks, Rude.
I think Rude wants to see me become a tiny circuit, a child-sized ghost circuit.
But yeah, so go ahead, formulate your roll. I imagine you're going to use teeth. You could also, since you're trying to, for the science angle, use tides if you wanted to.
I'm going to go for teeth. I'm going to do brace to kind of like, while the lightning is going through me, to kind of be able to take that. And I'm also using my phantom blade. I have 2 in brace.
Okay. Which one are you going for? The one that just blew away the smoke that Gary shot, or the one that fell from the sky with Matt?
One that fell from the sky.
Okay, so you're gonna run over. It sounds like a 3 or 4 roll. Are you gonna use your boon? One of your boons?
I'm gonna use my boon because this is a cool idea and I want it to work.
Okay, go ahead and roll 4 dice. Or 5 if you want to use both boons.
I'm gonna save one for an emergency.
Yeah, not a problem. Matt and Kevin have also been booned again.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
So you have a twist here, with a 4. So it's a success with a drawback. Sorry, sometimes these are hard to interpret. So what's going to happen? So twists are often a good thing. You do come down. You do have a success. You do stab this thing. It then explodes. Matt, you're right next to it. Isha, you're on top of it. Please get away from the explosion.
Grace.
Yeah, the way
I have grace
that's
and
good.
leap.
Those are both great. Matt has similar abilities too. Yeah, I like how you create all the danger yourself essentially in this game. It's pretty fun.
Hey,
I got
Away.
a 6.
Matt rolled a 6. Andy rolled doubles.
Mm-hmm.
That's the second time today with that, huh, Matt?
Matt's killing it. Misha, did you roll?
A couple points.
What am I rolling?
Oh yeah,
How
so
many
you roll your
D6?
grace, roll your leap, and you're good. But you also do have a boon floating if you want to throw that in.
I want to. I'm gonna use my boon. 2d6 is not enough.
Excellent. Yeah, so roll your 3d6, and we'll interpret then. Okay.
Doubles.
So this thing explodes. And what happens is some stuff comes out of it that looks potentially valuable. Like you see in the slow motion, you're like, what? Like Matt, you see a power source of some kind fall out. This is your twist. Because I was already going to have the loot happen because of her earlier twist. You catch this thing, and you have 1 power conductor, and it's in good shape. Misha, you succeed, but there's a drawback. You see a very
twist.
You see and a twist. You see a very similar thing. It looks a little different. It looks like perhaps there's some sort of magic to it. It looks like a imbued piece of technology, but you don't catch it. It hits the ground and it is cracked. So you have a cracked arcane power source as a loot from this.
Nice.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to make it up on the fly, so I hope you like it. Kevin.
I wonder if the ancient cultures employed these things as security measures.
It's entirely possible. Kevin,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So we got one left.
There's one left that's still twitching.
So I am currently hunched over the biggin that I had killed earlier, and I'm like still shaking him, and I'm like, "Howdy, hey, are you okay?" And I look pretty concerned at this point. Probably the beginnings of an episode are happening here. I've repupated many times, so this sort of funky demeanor is simply a defense mechanism. The thing is sort of shredded on the inside. It's remembering past lives and things of that nature. So I'm going to kind of snap out of it a little bit, and then I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to go full iron on this remaining automaton. I'm just going to, like, jump and iron stomp him. Quick question. 15 skill points assigned, is that correct?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
I'd have to double check, but yeah.
In that case, I'm just going to go, I think, iron and strike, and I just want to stomp it. So I'm going to jump, and I'm going to stomp it. I'm going to flutter my wings, well, the wings on my backpack a little bit, right from where I'm at, and then come down, iron stomp on the last one. So that is 2 from strike, 1 from iron, so 3 total, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Coming at you. Ooh, cute.
I would also like to say it is prone because of Gary's turn. That would give you an advantage dice. So go ahead and roll 1 more.
Cool.
I meant
I
to
use
use
that.
that you rolled.
I'm just going to do 1 more. Oh, 1? How do I do that? Oh, here we go. 2.
Two
What a
twos,
thinker.
2 ones. So you elbow drop this thing. Were you using an aspect?
I wasn't thinking that I would. No, should I? I mean, do you want me to?
No. So yeah,
Copy that.
What were you attacking with specifically?
Ideally a body part, so like a heel or an elbow.
So you were okay. So you run. You give them the people's elbow. You hurt yourself. Go ahead and mark one of your aspect tracks that you feel is appropriate. Something that has to do with your body, maybe your wings or something like that.
Oh no!
It's kind of how damage works in this game. You take your aspects are kind of your health.
Bummer.
Because you guys it's not a high
Can I
lethality
hurt my
game.
bird instead?
If you want to land on your bird, yeah.
Really?
I see no issue with it.
Nah, that feels cheap. I'm just gonna take wing damage.
Either way, it's fucked up. But yeah, so you land funny on your wing when you elbow drop this thing, and it's metal, so you're like ping. It doesn't take any damage. And then our resident Zealocry, this thing stands up with him on his back, but that's all it does. They are slow and did have trouble getting up.
I would like to use one of my aspects, the Rogue Doomsayer.
Okay.
As this huge creature stands up in front of me, this sort of powered golem, this arcane thing, I would like to receive from the Firefly, that's the game master of Wildsea, that's Jahan, an unsettled fragment of personality, a mark to request a dark and unbidden but likely pertinent thought from the Firefly. So what's something dark and unbidden about these constructs, maybe, or this facility?
Absolutely. So it seems that the Wild Sea is in upheaval. Who knows what remnants from the past could resurface in the days to come?
It is likely this is the first of the dangers to come. We are only at the surface of the rift.
I would like to try to break the power source out of this thing.
Okay.
So I will use teeth and break, which is 2, and then Rogue Doomsayer. Can I mark that to apply an extra die here?
Why not? I'll allow it. You were talking about the past. You were thinking about the past. You also have a boon floating. I think you actually have 2.
I got doomed, so one of mine went away. But I did roll a 6 on this. I rolled a 6, 5, 3, 6 being the highest.
So technically, one didn't go away. Technically, this roll has a cut. So you're going to get a -1 essentially.
That's right.
So you either have to spend your one of your 2 to counteract it, or take the cut.
I will spend 1 now. Because I rolled a 6, and I don't want to re-roll that and take a cut. Get out of
You
here.
did roll a 6. So yeah, absolutely. You very kind of casually, your spiders just go inside this thing and pull out its core, and you're holding it. This one seems, you realize all the automatons are slightly different models. This one has a like an actual synthetic heart of some kind, full of black sludge.
Whoa.
They have recovered this sludge-filled heart.
And you do get to add that as a salvage.
Oh, I wonder what this was used for. Perhaps they steered their vehicles with these.
I wonder if we can use it as food.
Maybe. You do get booned
No,
again,
it doesn't
Gary.
look too tasty.
Thanks, Rune.
It does not look particularly tasty. The black sludge is crude oil. But yeah, so nothing else in this room is moving. It is kind of eerily quiet after all that action. And then one of the lights will fall off the ceiling, and it just shatters the silence.
Oh, I don't think that was supposed to happen.
But yeah,
Climactic.
balls in your court.
Can I got 3 points in sense. Can I try to sense something?
Yeah, you could try to get a bead on this place. Definitely.
Great, hot, wonderful. 2, 1, 2.
You rolled doubles with a failure. That's a thing, right? A failure with a twist.
It is.
I sense that I have allergies.
So, you do sense something, and you're walking, you're sensing, you're walking, you're sensing. You walk around the back. You do kind of find behind like a knocked over shelf, like another doorway. And you're so caught up in doing this, you wang your head really hard.
I'm sorry, I what?
You wang your head. So you're not gonna you're gonna be kind of hesitant to trust your senses in the future. Go ahead and mark 1 on that track, unfortunately. But you do
Does the
find
iron
something.
not help me at all here? My head don't hurt. It's fine.
It's not the physical pain. It's the emotional damage.
That makes sense.
The hit to your
what-
psyche.
But so your sense takes a hit, but you do find something. You find this doorway that leads somewhere. You're not quite sure where.
And you have received another boon.
Thank you. I'm so short that I hit my head on the awning.
Kevin, if you want to, you can
small
burn
board.
that. You can burn that boon right now and roll another dice.
Oh wait, dude, I'm gonna take that with grace and honor.
all
Well,
good.
maybe neither of those, but I'll take it.
Yeah. You find a doorway.
I'm just gonna be like, ooh, and look back at the other people.
I was wondering when the rest of you would find that doorway.
I'll walk over as well.
Yeah, you
So,
guys kind of easily move the shelf aside. It's not like a difficult task, and it's just an empty doorway with some stairs going up.
you were saying something about being the start of something?
Yes, generally, whenever these rifts open up, they can expose the bottom of the floor. Things of all sorts of levels of danger could come out of a rift like this. If we continue to go down, we'll likely find expensive salvage and dangerous beasts.
Well, are you sure? Are you sure it's not something strange? Like, oh, this is the first of many rifts that will collapse the wild sea and expose the greatest creature to fight that's ever been.
Oh, yes, that's also very likely. And when there's one rift, that could cause many other rifts, like tremors, which could awaken great beasts sleeping below, indeed.
So where are all this? Like, we could just let it happen.
I believe it's in our best interest to salvage the goods that come up before the rest of the pillagers get here. It's only a matter of days until they find out about this rift.
Right, that's
However,
true.
it will be greatly dangerous, just to let you all know.
You're talking like that's a problem.
Well, everyone knows the most dangerous spot is in the back of the line, so everyone proceed and I'll wait at the back and make sure we're not savagely attacked.
Yeah, I can only show you the door. I
Or-
can't actually make you walk through it.
I walk through the door while everyone's talking.
Absolutely. Man of action, Ocean, walks through the door up the stairs. So as you're entering, the corridor is a normal, like, modern corridor with the mildewy posters, the trash. You see like a 1,000-year-old Coca-Cola can on the ground, and you keep walking. You eventually you start to smell and hear the wild sea again. You know its scent. You know its sounds very well. And eventually you round a corner and it's open. It is open to the trees again.
Looks like there's a way out over here.
Sure, a way out is what we had in mind. Maybe there's a way to go lower.
As he's saying that, yes. So it goes out straight. There's a lot of woven vines in your way. In order to continue on, if you wanted to go up and out this way, you'd have to do some cutting. But if you go left, you can follow this tree that does seem to descend down.
Nice.
Go down and I can call back so somebody can go fetch us. I can be really loud when I want to.
Maybe we should cut a hole here and let them know to park the ship here. We can dock it and anchor here so it's easier to bring up our recovered scavenged goods, as it were.
Oh, I'll have my bird fly down to the entrance so the ship knows where to park.
There you go. Yeah, you can do that. Your bird could fit through the holes in the vines without cutting.
Oh, you bet he could.
So yeah, you're gonna use your bird aspect. You don't have to mark it because it's fine. It's not a hazardous situation here. But yeah, so you launch your bird. You guys see the bird very shortly after that happens. Several things go crawling past these openings in the vines. They're on the other side of the wall from you. They just skitter on by. When you guys were coming in here, I don't know if you remember last session, I did describe many beasts were falling down here, and some were climbing. It's kind of like an oasis situation. A lot of animals are showing up. But yes.
Wonder Wall situation.
The path
Campaign
before you.
Supernova situation.
Only if you do really well, Kevin. Only if you do well. Then the Champagne Supernova shall cometh.
If I were to like scream really loud at all these animals, could I just blast them off in all directions? Because I have like a thunder voice that like blasts. That it's like a blast voice, and that would be so funny. Just clear the way by screaming.
You would most certainly scare the small creatures away.
No, like I deal like blast damage.
Oh, it does blast damage?
It is a weapon.
Oh, well
I
then,
can
yeah,
scream
you
and
could,
hurt things.
You could blast them off the wall if you wanted to. It's up to you, though.
Anyway, so
No? Okay.
I guess we call back the ship, drop off our stuff, and head deeper.
I'm down.
Deeper into the depths, into the danger.
Of course. The way.
I like the sound of that.
Shortly after all this is happening, a rope does like fall down in front of you guys eventually. The bird got the message through. And your bird does come back through the hole.
Stuff it back into my backpack.
What kind of bird is it? It doesn't have to be a real bird. It could be some weird homunculus creature thing.
Oh, it certainly is.
It could be a vulture parrot or something.
So it's sort of like a toucan,
Okay.
but it has 4 wings like a dragonfly.
Nice.
And yeah, I stuff it into my backpack when I'm not using it.
Comfortable in there?
Oh, probably not if I had to guess so. Not very spacious.
I need to make a note. I forgot that I have a section on my notes, my Google Doc for pets. So, nerd.
Indeed.
I'm gonna call him a sword-beaked dragon toucan.
Yeah, like the thing from Fruit
Chat
Loop that was 4
suggestion.
wings.
I like the chat suggestion of calling it a 4can.
A four-can. Okay.
Copy that. Damn, that's some low-hanging fruit. I'm ashamed of myself. Way to go, Chad.
It evolves into a sword-beaked dragon six-pack.
Hell yeah. I've actually
That
been
sounds like it comes with free beer.
But yeah, so there is a rope before you. If you want to go to it, you have to cut your way to it. But also, the path ahead is unobstructed at the moment.
Before we go any further, I have some chain in my salvage inventory.
You do. Yeah.
I want to give that to Kevin
Okay.
because he can control rigging stuff. You can go all hunter with it.
You're a freaky fella, aren't you?
Yeah, go ahead and mark that you've transferred salvage of chain to Kevin.
Is it, how long is it? Do we know roughly?
It does not say.
It doesn't specify. It is a length. So it is like a couple loops. I would say, if I had to guess, I'll say it's like a 3-footer.
Okay. Solid.
Like 3 feet of chain.
Ooh, you could conduct electricity with that. And possibly damage things?
Oh, I
don't know, I'm just thinking of weird ways to use it.
Could also swallow it for sustenance and then retrieve it later.
What?
If anything goes wrong, I'll simply repupate. Not really a big deal.
I'm too young for this.
But yes, which way would you find folk love to go? Down.
So are we, down. Into the danger,
Okay.
into the depths.
So you guys throw caution to the wind, and you know where your tie-off is. You know it's here. Hopefully you can get back to it. You turn the corner, and the branches just get a lot more tightly woven as you start going down here. You're following a giant ironwood branch that you're just walking on like a sidewalk, and it's completely encased in this this deep weave of vines. As you guys are walking down, it does get darker. The light has trouble shining through eventually. And you guys see all manner. There's a lot of little insects crawling in and out. They all live here. You see a lot of life down here. And every now and again you see some plants growing, that aren't part of the just, shitty vines that no one likes. But eventually, you do get down to a crossroads. One path just it starts getting steeper. It starts getting darker, and it looks like it goes down. The other path kind of leads off. It seems into a ironwood tree. You guys kind of see the base of the tree whose branch you're standing on, and you see a hole in its side that you can go into.
You know, my grandpappy once told me about this thing of the past they did called sledding. And I feel like we could do it here. Does anyone have some sort of
Sure could.
sled thing? Does anyone want to go sledding with me? Please?
That is an option.
Sledding down into the depths of the darkness. Count me in. I feel if we go into the burrow of the tree, we're likely to find local wildlife. Whereas if we go down further towards the forest floor, we're more likely to find technology of old.
It's like really excited, and then he's gonna want to be tougher. It's encouragement!
So,
Holding up this frog.
Is it the monsters that you would like to fight, or would you like to go deeper and see what lies on the darkness?
I wanted to go sledding.
Into the darkness.
I'll do my best to try to rip a piece of bark off that can be sledded on.
So I have an edge,
You've got sleds?
a drive that comes from being a Mothrin that says that I can solve baffling problems with style. So I would like to rip off a piece of bark with
Surast?
Yes, Surast. That's good.
Okay.
help him rip off a piece, and it's gonna be like a team. It's gonna be like a team sled, like some cool runnings level shit. And we're gonna rip off a big piece for all four of us, and it's gonna look cool. I'm gonna look cool doing it.
I'll do you one better. While you're ripping off this bark, you find a log, a disjarred log, like tangled up in the vines, and it has a void in it. It does seem like you could sit in it, because you do have this aspect. I would let you do that.
Oh, how about this here? I'm a little too small to pull it out, but I think our friend O'Sheen here might have the muscle to do it.
Yeah, I'll try. And I'll just try to grapple hand it towards me.
He does grapple hand onto it and starts to pull it out of the vines a little bit. All of you together, though, are able to dislodge this log. And am I understanding correctly that you want to ride it down the steep, dark hill into the unknown? Is that what's going on here?
That's the way
Well,
I
absolutely.
understand it.
Yes, yes. We're going sledding.
All right. You guys put it up on the precipice. Who's steering this thing?
Well, as the navigator, I feel sort of morally obligated to take such a post.
Okay. How do you want to steer this thing? What's your plan here? Whatever you say will work to a certain degree.
I'm no navigator, but I do have some old advice, if I may. Aim for the darkness.
Well, that seems to match quite well with my forge ahead methods. I say steering is for gravity. Let's hit it.
We'll use sparks to make this go faster.
Oh, no.
You know, just kind of use the material of the wood, give it a little bit of jolt. How dry is this wood? Would it set on fire?
I believe
Or
that it
can
would
I
be more
just-
beneficial to attach it to the front and use it as a brake in case we need it.
I mean, you can always set things on fire, but you are surrounded by the woods at all.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I don't want to set it on
Okay.
fire. Basically, what I'm trying to do is like, I don't know anything about science. Does wood conduct electricity?
It does.
Only if it's got okay. It
Wood
does.
conduct electricity, yes.
But it's fine.
So basically, I could just use my voltmotive interfacing to just put jolts into the wood and make it go faster.
It could work. You could kind of
could
have
work.
like a give me a roll. Let's see how well it works. Give me tides.
All right.
For your
I've got tides.
yeah, give me that. You have any relevant skill? You think? I don't know what it would be either. That's why I'm asking.
Wave walk. I have leap and wave walk.
Wave luck. Yeah, sure. I'll allow it. The waves are made up of these branches, and you are sliding down one.
Yeah, that's kind of there, right?
It's close. It's probably the closest I can think of. So yeah, roll those two combined. Don't forget. Wait,
Is that
you spent
3d6 or 2d6? I use my moons.
What's your wave walk skill? One?
My wave walk is 1.
So 2. It's 2 dice.
Okay. All right. I might blow everybody up.
I'm gonna go look up fire.
Yeah, hell yeah, a 6.
So what happens is, so wood has high, it's not very conductive. It has a lot of resistance, so it kind of like eats up electricity as it goes into it, but it will conduct electricity. But as it seeps into wood, it does create these interesting burn marks. And when you do this, it kind of like smooths the wood on both the log that you're in and the trunk below you, because you do succeed. So you guys have a pretty smooth running down here. So
Pretty cool running, as it
it
were.
is pretty cool. Funny you say that. Jamaica is going has a bobsled team this year for the first time in like 25 years.
Oh my gosh, we're bobsledding.
Yeah, we're definitely. Can we change this from a sled into a bobsled with
I
just a little
mean,
bit
that's
of-
kind of what I was trying to do when I said it's a log. I was like, I wasn't going to pass up that opportunity.
we get a running start, 2 of us on each side.
So you guys, you're falling very fast. You are making contact with this tree, so it's not a true free fall. You don't know what's going to happen. The first obstacle is going to be the immediate impenetrable darkness. Let me know how you solve that one. Any one of you can take the focus at any time during this. This is going to be an ongoing challenge situation. And I have several tracks that I wrote up for you guys to fill to be successful.
I can see
Possibly.
Okay. Ocean starts describing things to everyone. So Ocean, you see the twists and turns. It's almost like it was tailor made for this. It seems like you're on the fast track, but eventually you do start seeing low branches.
Y'all want to duck your heads.
I'm gonna have you make the roll, Matt.
All right.
It's gonna be. You can either do grace, because you're trying to react quickly and tell these people. It could also be instinct.
I will use grace.
Okay.
And
Oh, there's an entire skill list here. This is fire.
could I use sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Sense is
Then I
for
would-
reacting. So yes.
Cool. I just have those two things. I'm pretty sure.
You have some
does
boons
my-
sitting.
Oh, and a boon. My aspect sensory stocks. That's the thing that allows me to see.
That gives you an advantage in the situation that no one else has. Yes.
Awesome. So that's a total of 4 with the boon.
4 with a boon. Thank you for booning our players. It helps them live.
And I got a 6.
You did. You got a 6.
Nice.
So he says duck. Everybody ducks. And that is a success on the track. Which you do not know how many points are on there. But you did 1. So you guys are going pretty fast now. No one else can see, though. That is an issue if anyone else wants to react to something they can see. But eventually you guys kind of start feeling the vines themselves start to reach out of the walls and try to grab at you. One of you can take focus and react to that before it forces one of you to react to it.
To blast the incoming vines with my salt shotgun.
Absolutely.
Is that something I need to roll, or is it as simple as shooting a shotgun at a wall? Okay. I will veils, I will shotgun, I will shoot. 3d6.
Could I basically give him something similar to a help action, basically by following his lead with the salt sword?
You can make a roll on your own completely, because
Okay, so our
it'd
help
be better if
actions
you
are
did.
not a thing in this game?
They can be. It's just in this particular situation, I think it would be more beneficial to do your own attack, because then you can mark off a track on your own, and that furthers the progress. But yeah, Gary, you do hit it.
I've rolled a 5, yes.
Yeah, you do hit it. That is a conflict. That means that there is something bad that happens here. As you, your shotgun is in need of a reload, essentially. So you cannot immediately use it again. You're gonna have to take an action to reload it, if you want to use a shotgun specifically. But you do shoot these devil vines back. And I have marked. Oh yeah, you have salt, so you have a higher impact. So you do extra damage on the track. Misha, I will allow you to make an attack as well.
It's sword time, so I've got, I have got break.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got break and strike and teeth.
I think
so
strike
along
would
with
be
my
better.
sword.
So use strike and use teeth,
Cool.
and then also use.
All
your sword.
right.
So you got 3 there.
So 3d6?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So, as you're slashing at these things, one of them grabs your wrist, and pulls on you. She kind of exits the vehicle a little bit.
Shit.
Yeah. It looks like everyone's getting booned again, though. So that's good. Thank you, Captain Groom. A lot of boons tonight.
Yeah, thank you, chat, for affecting our story.
She gets pulled out of the vehicle, but she's being pulled down deeper.
Is she keeping pace with us at all, or is
She's going faster than you, but not by like. It's not like she's out of sight already. You guys are going pretty fast too, but she is dropping down there.
I can solve this problem.
I bet you can.
I would like to use my bow as well as surgical strike. It allows me to make attacks precisely without cutting for difficulty.
Right. Yeah, because you can cut. That's something I should mention. So I've been looking into cutting. You can choose to cut your own dice, which means you'll roll less, but you can cut for increased precision, like he's trying to do right now. And you can also cut for increased impact, so you do more damage. But yes.
Can I jump in real quick and also assist him by using my Scoanesis skill to essentially engage his grapple hand to grab her after he severs the limb?
You want to try, so you're ready to catch her after he frees her.
Yeah, because I'm able to control rigging, and I feel like the grappling hand attachment mechanism would be great.
Yeah, so go ahead, Matt. You make the first roll here.
Cool. I think it's going to be 4 with my boon.
Yeah, if you're using your boon, yes.
I got double 4s.
Got double 4s. So in this instance, that can be, you tell me. I'll allow you to choose. So you do succeed with a twist, but there's also like a bad thing that happens. But the twist itself can either be you do more impact, thus doing more damage, or something else.
You know what? I'm going with the something else.
I thought you might. So yeah. And you said a bow and arrow?
Yeah.
That's fucking dope. So You cut her loose. As soon as she's out the thing, it's no sooner is she like free of the sled and like a few feet ahead of you, that an arrow just fucking frees her from the vine in the darkness, and she starts to, almost fall underneath the bobsled. But luckily, we have a guy here that can control ropes and was ready. So go ahead, give me that roll. You have some options
Advanced
here.
child leash. I feel like this is an advanced child leash.
It is a very advanced child leash.
From one small person to another, although I must say I'm much older than you.
But yeah, I would let you use the edge. Instinct would be good. Sharps. Also, your sensibility, you could use sense as well. As
Great.
your
So
skill.
I do have Scoenesis, which is an aspect. I do have 3 points in sense, and 1 point in brace, if that matters at all, so that I don't get pulled out of the vehicle as well.
The sense is going to be the primary here since it's 3.
Gotcha.
And then, which edge do you want to use?
Edge. I've got iron, teeth, or veils. Probably teeth, I guess. No, that doesn't make sense because I'm using the control veil. I don't know.
Iron is force, determination, and willpower, and you're using it. You are kind of using force. You're literally, what you're doing is you're taking control of someone else's hand. I'll say that's an act of force and willpower. So go ahead. It sounds like you get 5 dice here, and you have a boon if you want your 6. 6 is as high as you can go.
I got 2 boons floating around unless I lost one from not using it right away. So if I have 2, I would like to use one.
Yeah, you can use one. So go ahead and roll 6.
Roll 6.
Yeah, you can.
It only goes up to 5. Oh, do I have to type in?
Oh, yeah. If it only goes up to 5, type in /roll space 6d6 and then hit enter.
Like I'm like a hacksaw in the command prompt. Triple 5s, motherfucker.
Triple
Damn.
5. I don't know what that means, but you do catch her. She comes flying back. I'm gonna say that you accidentally. So what your whole thing is gonna be is you're using Scoenesis. You accidentally find some ropes that are in the walls. You realize they're there now when you were activating it. So essentially, as long as you're in this tunnel, you have access to those ropes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So you do pull her back into the sled. So what's happening here, right? You marked off tracks on this route problem. You're also marking tracks while you're doing this on the sledding issue itself because you're still traveling successfully. Now, I'll allow the ball to be in your court. One of you can take focus and choose to help your situation in some way. Otherwise, I'm going to do something and you'll be forced to react. You're still barreling down this dark hole into the unknown with vines attacking you from the walls.
I'm just going to keep blasting at the vines with my salt gun unless anybody else wants to do anything more exciting narratively.
Maybe use the ropes that we found in the walls to entangle and ensnare the vines so that they are not as effective at trying to touch us.
If that's what you want to do,
Need
yeah.
Stabby Tooth, a phosphorescent beetle, so he glows and gives us light.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Do you have? Is that a specimen you have?
Yep, I came into the game with it.
That's excellent. So yeah, mark that specimen off. You hear ribbit, and it starts chewing, and then all of a sudden, this like kind of dim but pretty decent light starts to flow out of Pointy Stabby mouth.
And
wonder
I
what
just-
happens if I feed him black powder.
Could probably turn into a magical prince.
I feel like this is going to be a whole thing now, which I'm cool with. I like it. So you guys can finally see. Now that you can see, because even with your ability to see in the dark, you still only get senses of what's going on. You don't see, like, color, and depth is weird. But now you can kind of tell. There are some distinctly darker vines that are coming, and they do seem to be coming from the base of this tunnel. And you also notice that your incline is declining a little bit here. You might be coming to the trail's end before you can discover what lies there, though. We're going to go ahead and take our break.
Oh, damn, that hour and a half went by fast.
Good, I
You guys
like
are doing
this.
badass shit, yeah.
This
Feels
is
like the Goonies. I love it.
Thank you so
I like
much
this game.
for watching. Yeah, I like it too. If you like watching, if you like this game, it is a rules-light narrative system. It has recently become available, and by recently I mean today, for pre-order. So check out Wild Sea on Kickstarter. You can go to their Kickstarter page and find the pre-order page from there. Just go to Kickstarter and then type in Wild Sea or The Wild Sea. It's going to be from Ray Chow. So check it out. It's on there. And we'll be back in a minute. Hey everybody, it's me. Welcome back. We're playing Wild Sea. I'm Jahan Anan. I'm the DM, the game master, the Firefly as we're called these days by the kids, at RockFact on Twitter. And yeah, we're playing Wild Sea. It just dropped today. So this is as fresh as possible. We were playing it before it came out because we're cool.
It's me, Casualty CDG from Fresh Out the Box. I'm the co-host, and I'm a retired detective, child crimes detective, and missing kids detective, and well, now I'm a tabletop streamer and comedian. So if you want to follow me at Casualty CDG, you can do that, and you'll see games.
Hi. Currently a student studying computers and business, which means in my free time I get to do actual fun stuff like ttrpg things. I'm currently a player on the Carnival Dice podcast, and I also ramble on my own Twitter, which is just my name.
It's at Misha Siegel, in case you don't know.
Hey folks, my name is Matt Murphy, but tonight I am playing Oshin the Lost.
Right to it. What's up, guys? I'm Kevin. Again, still here in currently chilly Houston, Texas. I play pretend for a living, lighting designer, technical director for the dance and theater world. Tonight, however, I am playing Welson Ors. I cannot believe I have not messed up saying that once yet. And I am a child-presenting ancient being with a dragonfly backpack and a death mask on my face, Mothrin descent. Also the navigator.
If I'm being completely honest, I still don't think I can say it. I don't think I could ever say that name.
Say what?
More. I gotta look at it. Can I say it? Welson Ors. I can't do it. I think it's a combination of my dysgraphia and just being an idiot. But yeah, hi, welcome back. You guys are descending into the depths, which is something that you usually don't want to do on purpose. But hey, what do I know? I just work here. You guys are bobsledding down an ironwood tree surrounded by vines, being attacked by vines, and coming to an end of your trek here. Before you do, though, which one of you is good at smelling stuff? You don't have to look at your stuff. Just whoever smells stuff good. Is it?
It is seldom known fact that spiders don't have a sense of smell, even though people think we do.
Okay, so it's not him. Either of you, any of you three?
Why do I feel like Oyson has a good sniffer?
He might. You got a good
Well, people think that moths can't smell, and it's pretty much true, but it comes in as a different sense altogether.
It turns out spiders have a really good sense of smell. Every day's a school day.
I had a feeling. I just didn't.
Me too. I banged it, and I was like, "There's no way that spiders can't smell. They're like dope apex hunters. Yeah, they smell real good."
I feel like most bugs have really good smell.
So I can retcon that. I can sniff with my sniffers.
All right, so since
you are thousands of sniffers.
Yeah,
They are quite the sniffer. Celicry have an ability to sniff 4 times more effectively than the next person.
you can
Well,
smell.
that's good because I was lying.
You can smell a change in the air up ahead, and it gives you enough foretime to realize you see light. It's not coming.
A change in the air up ahead, and I sense a light there.
Sometimes, Gary, fucking hate you. That's fucking good stuff. So the light is not coming from ahead. It's not coming from the walls. It's not coming from the ceiling. It is coming from beneath. You smell the open wild sea, and you see before you a break in the branch.
There, just toward the daylight.
Wait, so is this like a is this like a break where we'd be like falling out?
Yes.
Is this something we have to avoid?
Yes. Very
All
much
right.
so.
Can I try to kind of precisely give the boat like a jolt up?
Yeah.
Are we sure we don't want to go into the hole?
So the hole, I'll be full transparency here. That hole leads to like the bottom the fast way.
Oh, okay.
The bad way.
It's not the death. It's not. So is it the death hole?
Yeah, it's a death hole. Yeah, it's a free fall into oblivion.
What if
And
we
the question
It's
suspend
like the bottom of the map in Minecraft.
Yeah, you don't want it. You don't want to touch it.
if Mr. Wells uses his abilities with ropes, he could be able to catch us and lower us down.
Another thing I could possibly do is use my scream attack to kind of propel us upward. So if I yell down, like offside the boat, like we could possibly use, because it does blast damage, kind of use those sonic waves to push us back up and have us jump the hole.
I'll allow it. What edge are you gonna use for that?
I have grace, teeth, and tides, so whatever fits the most. And I also have a leap. I have 2 in leap,
I will allow the
And
use
I-
of both tides and leap.
and then I also have my yelling.
Yeah, so you're gonna do tides. You're gonna do leap. So that's 3 dice right there. You have your yelling. I will give you an extra dice for that. You do have to mark one on the track. You can get it back.
It's all good.
I am also, because of what you were doing, it is difficult. So for the first time, because I need to get more comfortable doing it, I am cutting a dice.
Oh no! Oh no!
So you're sitting at 3.
Okay. Then we get back to the rolling.
Whenever there's something where I have to choose to make something harder like that, it's hard for me to do. I always feel like a dick. But yeah. Ha ha! But it does not matter. The mighty Misha shouts a thunderous boom at the ground, and you guys crash a little bit. You eat a little bit into the ceiling. Some of the vines get on you guys, and you come down on the other side. Very much alive. All well and good. When you flew over the hole, you guys looked down. Everyone looked down. You made the right choice. There's nothing down there but death. But yeah. You hit the ceiling. You crash a bit. And you guys start to tumble a little. You're slowing down though. Your bobsled kind of wedges in the walls, and you guys kind of spill out on the bottom of the chute. It's still really dark down here, but Misha's frog, Anna's frog, is lighting the way still.
Just kind of roll over, triumphantly hold up Stabby Tooth. Yeah, we should go sledding more often. Wouldn't that be great?
It smells, there's an interesting smell down here. It smells almost sweet. There's like a sweet scent in the air.
What kind of sweet?
Know anything about what like sweet?
It's almost like fruity, not citrus. It's like almost sugary kind of smell.
Why do I suspect a giant hive of killer bees?
Or maybe a giant hive of fire ants.
I wouldn't give me ideas of this game. This game is all about improv. you could hope it into existence here, but no, it does. Yeah, you do smell. You can't quite see the edges of the room you're in because your light is about 10 feet worth. It just kind of illuminates the party and the immediate surroundings. You're on a bed of woven vines, and the walls seem to be comprised of similar. Every now and again, you can see the ironwood tree bark seeping through.
Lots
can
of
I-
music.
Yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna do, Matt?
Oh, I was just wondering if I could see anything more, considering.
Oh yeah,
I can see
you
with
do
no
have a little bit of increased sight here. You can see something moving. You see something kind of swaying up ahead, and you do have a little bit of forewarning that the vines that have been hurrying your path this whole way are coming back.
Yo, it's
As soon as you say something, they're in the light. Like, you're, like, ready for it, but they're here. The two vines just shoot out from the darkness. But someone can react.
I'm going to immediately try to shoot the thing that's dancing ahead of us.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. I'll use teeth and my bow and shoot.
Yeah, go ahead.
Doubles and a 6.
6 with a twist. Yeah. Mummy, no! No, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just playing. I couldn't resist. You hear, and it starts like moving like that. That's what you hear. You hear a completely non-animal noise. You hear a very strange alien sound. And it starts wiggling a lot, and the sweet smell intensifies.
Gross.
These vines do come in. One of them's gonna go straight for you. What you doing there, buddy?
Can I shoot the vine that's coming for him?
Yeah, sure.
I have one of my drives is protect my crew from danger.
Ooh, I like it.
So shotgun and shoot and teeth. 1, 4, 5.
Damn. Okay.
Doubles.
Also,
and
that reminds me, real quick, I have a Meyer that says, I caused more pain than necessary.
Okay.
So, however that unfolds here.
I will keep that in mind. No, that's a good one. Yeah, go ahead. So you do hit Gary with a twist. The twists are fun. Twists are very fun. So, your twist in this case, I feel like for badassery, there are 2 vines, both of them, and you turn them into dust. They just explode as you
Watch out, Oysin! Put your head down!
And I'll blast one and then turn and say the same thing for Anna Akin.
And you, duck!
And blast another one.
Absolutely. Yeah, you unleash both barrels and you just take these vines out. The vines are done. And you hear this thing in the middle. And you can see it get up, Matt. Whatever it is, you hear ripping and tearing of vines as it stands. And you can see the vines in the dark seem to be attached to whatever this thing is. You can hear them snapping off. And they're like leaking juice as it's happening. And it's going to go. And it's going to like run at you guys out of the darkness.
Oh, it's beastie time!
Before you is... Oh man, did I close the page? I totally did. It's okay. Luckily, the PDF is fire. It is a large plant creature. It has a gigantic... Its center is a gigantic orange and red flower with a tendril coming out of it that has these orange grasping fingers. And then it's propelling itself on the ground with these vines that resemble more like spider legs. They're very spindly and hard. And it is big. How big is it? It's a large, so it is a size category bigger than you. So think like ogre size.
Boy.
And when it runs at you, that sweet smell You know, I'm gonna have that sweet smell do something. Everybody resist the urge to relax. You're starting to kind of want to go inside of its mouth. You're kind of starting to want, like, whatever juice it has in there, it smells delicious. So everybody, however you do so, resist this urge. It can be, obviously, iron would work, instinct can work, even tides could work.
I have tides, and also one of my drives is to communicate with the living storm on equal terms. So I'm going to interpret that as I'm basically stealing myself from letting down my guard, because that is a sign of weakness.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, roll that edge. Do you have any skills that might help you to not give into this? Good examples could be brace could work. Harvest,
Brace.
because you understand plants could work. Things like that.
Yeah, I have 2 embrace as well.
Okay, go ahead. Roll 3 dice then. You do not climb inside of its mouth and die.
Good. With a twist.
With a twist. The twist is that you are able to. So it is leaking some of this fluid because it snapped the vines off when it got up. You're able to maybe get some. Get some of this juicy juice.
Interesting. Why do I feel like it would work like a love potion?
Yeah, it's called sweet nectar.
Ew.
Next on the list, Matt, you go ahead and resist. Try not to get in its mouth.
So, I have 1 for brace,
Okay.
and
May I give everybody +1 die by throwing down a smoke bomb?
Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Mark off another smoke bomb.
Yep.
The smoke, it does make it harder to see.
Resist the smell. It tries to lure us forth. Steel yourselves and breathe in the thick smoke.
Yeah, the smoke does mitigate the smell substantially. You know what? I like it.
Thank you.
The smell's done.
All
You
right.
did it. Right before that happened, Misha, you were able to use the fact that you were smelling it and you were attracted to it to find some that you were able to keep. No one else has to roll because smoke bomb, good move. That's good thinking.
Narratively, Misha could have told us when she went and got a handful of goo that the goo was what the thing was. Like, the goo is what's attracting us to it, and then I could...
And then you realized, yeah.
Yeah, and then throw down the smoke bomb.
No, I love it. Fantastic. Top tier playing, guys. But this thing is now amongst you, and it's going to stick its tentacle that's coming out of its mouth in the air, and it's going to do this, and when it does, it makes a noise. I can't do animal noise as well, but it's terrifying. Just know that.
Like that?
Take your word for it.
Would it sound like that?
Yeah.
I can make it sound worse.
Oh, I can't hear anything. Oh, there you go. I heard it that time. Yeah, that's pretty close. It's not bad. Yeah, like that. You hear that. But yeah, so the 2 people that haven't reacted yet get the focus first here. I'm gonna go to Kevin. Orson. No, I'm saying it wrong. God damn it. Wilson. God fucking damn it.
Yep, you're gonna hate this character.
No, I love it. It's hilarious every time.
So I am going to I'd like to I'm just gonna try to wreck it old school. I'm just gonna hit it with that big ass sword I got.
Nice.
So I'm gonna do iron to help me with the swinging of heavy weapons. Strike for 2 and
Yeah, 3 dice there.
Can I also use the falcon? Can I use Nerd the Bird? When I pull the sword out of my backpack, because it was stuffed in there uncomfortably, it just quick releases, and I can use him for, it does 2d6 keen damage.
Oh, he can be a weapon?
Yeah, long range keen damage, 2d6.
Interesting. So in this instance, since you are supposed to like use it like as your turn, but you can release him, and he can give you advantage.
I'll take it.
Yeah, so you get 4 dice.
Weird.
Please don't roll 2s and 1s again.
Oh, this smells pleasant.
We're gonna
Not
go
bad.
with double 2s and a 1 and a 6.
So I feel like you really want to hurt this thing, right?
Of course.
So you run up. The bird flies at its jaws, and the tentacle coming out of its mouth is like snapping at it. And while that's happening, you just run up. You tear up the vines on the ground with the tip of your giant sword and you just slam it into this thing. And you draw purple ooze with the thickness, and you do significant damage because of your
Oh,
twist.
hey, go away.
Excellent. Matthew, back to you, sir.
Yes. I have a question.
Okay, yeah,
What
I
is-
have answers.
What is the most brightly colored bulbous part of this monster?
I have a picture, so I will look at it and get back to you. It's so the petals, as you're looking at it, are all around kind of this like rubbery hole where this tentacle is coming out of, and it's very brightly orange and red. And it kind of goes down into a bulb, and that's like the meat of it, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him right in that meat.
And you can do that without taking a cut because of your sharpshooter ability.
Indeed.
Absolutely. I love it. I like that there's a bow guy. That makes me happy. You got bows, you got guns, you got swords, you got ghost swords, you got everything.
And several seconds.
No.
So as you're aiming, it turns abruptly as it gets hit by Kevin, and it kicks you. You let the arrow fly. Misha, get out of the way of an arrow.
I thought you froze.
No.
You thought
Yeah, Grace and Leap roll away from this.
absolutely. Give it to him.
All right, how many dice is that?
Let's see.
I have
Grace
2 and
1, Leap 2, so that's 3.
All right.
Bingo bongo.
Oh.
Okay. So you get out of the way, a lot of the way, but you get pinned to the floor by this arrow. You jump backwards, but it pins you to the ground. And then this flower, it's getting attacked from all sides. It's gonna look around, and you can see its tentacle like doing this, like it's sensing, and it's gonna go right after you because you can't move.
Can I more or less react to it using...
Yes.
So I have ground zero overload. I don't think this is a time to burn it, but I'd like to mark it, and when it attacks me, just kind of direct a bunch of electricity back into it. Dealing volt damage.
Absolutely. So go ahead. What's the
mark
exact
that?
wording on that?
Mark to deal volt damage to all nearby foes, or burn to increase it to massive volt damage.
Absolutely. So it's going to come at you, and you electrocute it. It's still going to try to attack you. You know what? You burnt a thing. I'm going to let it stun this thing so it doesn't attack you, actually. I feel like that's fair.
I mean, I'm not burning it. I'm just marking it
Hey, you're
for
marking
now.
it.
But I can also use my brace to like deal with it. To like take it.
No, I like it. You did a good job. It goes and it lets out a little. To me, it sounds like the creature from Adventure Time, the little goober monster. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. The like techno monster. But yeah, it makes a noise. It gets all pissed off as it's electrocuted. But then that's it. It did its action. I believe it's the Zealocry.
It is me. I'm gonna delay. I'm gonna delay my turn.
Absolutely.
I don't. Yep.
You stand there. You're looking around. You're not sure what to do. You're waiting for an opening. Anna, you're still pinned to the
All
ground.
right.
You do electrocute this thing, and it's like kind of smoking a little bit, but it's standing there right in front of you. It is close, and you're stuck in front of it essentially without freeing yourself.
Can I try to free myself using my sword?
Yeah.
Can I summon my ghost sword to cut myself away and to deal a little bit of damage?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead
Ooh.
and do your teeth. And do.
Yep, teeth. And I have strike.
You have strike of 2.
I have a strike of 1.
Strike of 1.
But I also have break.
What's your break?
3.
Oh yeah, use your break. So you're gonna get 4 dice here. I'm gonna give you, because you're doing a precision, I'm gonna give you a cut. So you're gonna do 3 dice.
Nice to me, dices.
It's not bad.
Pretty nice.
So you do indeed cut the arrow off of you, and you dance backwards. The complication, you open up the floor a little bit, and some of the weaving of the floor, it starts. You guys all feel it at the same time. It doesn't fall, but you feel that there is what was once solid ground now has slack in it. Just a little bit of slack. You notice it's palpable. But yes, Kevin.
What's on the other side of that slack? How far is that drop?
It's a fall. It's not one you want to. It's not. There's not like another room down there. It is. You guys are kind of. You realize now your situation, as you're looking around, as you feel this slack. This is like a giant hammock between 3 trees, about halfway down. So what's below you is the other half of that way down.
So we still don't want to fall from here, and there's not a landing spot nearby.
No, you guys are very far from the deepest parts still.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Yeah, I was making sure this wasn't like a cool Hell in the Cell type of situation where we powerbomb them through the net and we go into the next room.
You can, and we can make it work. But it will be a task.
Game ends on episode 3.
There you go.
I can fly. I'll see y'all later.
That's true. Yeah, Mr. Mothrin himself. Wilson Oars. Please, what are you doing here? You feel the slack in the ground. You see this monster previously electrocuted. It does seem to be hurt.
I would like to trick it. I want to walk up to it, like start walking towards it, but then use Veil's stealth for 2, or outwit for 1, if it gives me better like narrative options. I can't decide.
It depends on what you're trying to do specifically.
So I want to like kind of walk towards it and then just suddenly vanish and appear behind it and strike it.
Okay, and you're using like your ghostly aspects to do this. I understand.
Correct. Focusing my will with the veils.
So yeah,
to sort of
do veils, and stealth does work for that. If you were trying to like get him to punch something that like blows up, that'd be outwit. But yeah, stealth absolutely works. Go ahead and roll them 3 dice.
Cool. 3, 4.
Bummer.
So you do hit it. You hit it hard. You give it the gusto. You can sense that it's on its last legs. And you chop off one of its legs. You chop off a thin part of it. So thin, in fact, that the sword crashes into the floor. And you guys feel the slack increase a little bit. Just a little bit. You feel you can start to smell the air beneath you a little bit. And it's better lit in here now. So that's
I
good.
know what I would like to do for my turn.
Okay.
I would like to try to get this creature to hit me.
Okay.
I'd like to use Outwit, and then I'd like to use Shirk the Skin to turn into a bunch of small spiders so that I can crawl away and this thing hopefully rips through the floor and plummets to its death.
So you want to try and get it to punch the floor.
Correct.
Everyone, back up against the walls.
And so I will use Veils since I'm coming out of the shadows. My Outwit is 2, and then Shirk the Skin for 4.
That all sounds good to me.
I rolled double 6s and a 4, which is not important. Just the double 6s are important.
Yeah. So, this thing runs at you because you get all big. You kind of use
all
your
the spiders spread out, and I'm almost like a giant 2D monster.
Yeah,
I
you're
look
much
very
bigger
scary from the front.
And it
from
comes.
the side, I'm pretty thin.
And it leaps into the spiders. It then crashes through the floor. Gary, you warned everybody. You got that good twist. The twist is going to be that there are some other vines that are getting pulled down as this is happening. There are things to grab onto now. Everyone's going to get an additional D6 on this roll. But, everybody, catch on. Grab something, or otherwise don't fall.
Can I burn a Sconesis point to catch everybody with the ropes that are in the walls?
Those are still there. Yes. I will absolutely allow it. So yeah, this thing crashes. You guys see this nest start to unweave as this creature falls to the ground. Well, you don't see it fall to the ground, but it does. It falls below into shadow. And then all of a sudden these ropes bounce out of the walls and suck you guys all into the walls. Very quickly, it's like, boing, whoop! And you guys are all, like, on the walls. And below you
it's your
is
lucky
oblivion.
day.
Very well done. But yeah, you guys succeeded in doing this.
At least we got a handful of that sweet, sticky goo. I call that a win for the day, and maybe we should head back topside.
Oh, wow. Thank you, third-rate nerds, for the raid. Welcome to Wild Sea.
Third-rate nerd raid.
Hell yes. Thank you so much. Oh, what's up, Cap? Capricious Nature, friend of the show, and friend of the friends, and awesome person.
Capricious Nature.
Yeah, we are playing Wild Sea by Felix Isaacs. Go check out the Kickstarter. It is finished, but you can pre-order as of today. We have the complete version, but you can also check out the free playtest on the website. Very fun. Cap, the screen should not be black. You might want to try refreshing your browser. But we're showing all systems go on my side. But yeah, hey, free Shabakadu. But yeah, so you guys, the lion's mane, which is what
Shabakado.
free Shabakadu. The lion's mane, which is what this creature is called, this flower beast, falls into oblivion. You guys are all hanging on to the walls. But you are still very much down here in this nest. What are you doing?
I'm gonna look for its babies.
So you want to, so this is going to be an acquisition roll. And you can, depending on what abilities you're using, during any acquisition, you guys can always be like, hey, I want a resource. Depending on how you build this roll, depends on what you get. So if you want to find one of its babies, which you guys seem to be collecting monsters, it's probably going to be something like Tides, because it's exploration, learning, lore, or perhaps Instinct, would be a good one. And then maybe something like tend or harvest could be used. So, you know, that's...
even hunt to try to track down a creature.
Potentially. Yeah, potentially. That's a good point.
They did put it in the detection section of the rules.
I don't even know why I said that other than because I wanted to do it, but I literally have nothing that will help me to find its babies.
But you can do it, right? Well, I don't know. Can I sense then? Can I use sense?
You can. You can try to help him. That's fine. You can help him live his dream.
I'll like watch him struggle and like consider lying to the group, and then I'll be like, well, and then yeah, I'll use just sense. I've got a 3 in it, so. But,
yeah, absolutely. So you got 3. Do you have any applicable edges?
Iron Teeth, Veils. Maybe if I use Veils, Focus of Willpower.
It does. So Veils does say secrecy, which that means that it could be used to find something secret. But yeah, so absolutely add that to your 3, so you get 4 dice.
Ooh, I rolled already. Do you want me to re-roll all 4? Or
just roll one more.
Copy that. 6 with double 5s.
Not bad. So you do get a success because you got a 6, with a twist because you got doubles. And so what that's going to turn into, you do find something. And because it's a twist in an acquisition roll, it can be something that's maybe interesting, mysterious, better, perhaps. You do find what you recognize, not immediately, but eventually, as a seed. Like the size of a baseball. And it's weird because seeds aren't supposed to, but this one has a heartbeat.
Ooh, howdy. Hey, I should put this away.
I want to like just turn around and like raise it above my head and show it to the group, and ask the old man for assistance in identifying what this could possibly be, other than a new pet.
Yes, I believe that Anna Arkin would also be and probably able to help us discover what monster this is. But I do have abilities in scrutinize.
Yeah.
So I will use Veils and Scrutinize. And Misha, do you have any like monster identifying type stuff?
I'm built for murder?
That's a good answer. I appreciate it. Hey, I want you to go...
I have 1 in Scry and 2 in Sense.
So this is the thing I'm supposed to do. During play, I can award a maximum of 1 milestone to each player for like roleplay and stuff. So you've been very on brand on your monster huntingness. So go ahead, you gain a milestone. And it's a minor milestone, and it's gonna be called I Hunt Monsters. So go ahead and write that down somewhere, and you can use it later to do stuff that we'll talk about.
Wait.
I'm going to ask you here, Jahan, can I use Veils? Can I use Scrutinize? And can I use my second aspect charge of Rogue Doomsayer to know what this is and have it be something dangerous?
Yeah. So you're also being aided here by the chat. Vampire Bites has redeemed a name, an NPC. And based on the name, I have a feeling that it's a plant monster because its name is Barky. So someone in the chat chose to name your pet for you. I hope that's okay.
Perfect. Yep. I rolled double 5s with a Doomsayer ability.
So that means you succeed. You've done it a couple times. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll also give you a milestone. Portents of Doom, it'll be called. It'll be a minor one. I need to get better at awarding these. And then also gain the Whisper, Seed of Destruction.
Yes!
Why am I imagining that once this thing hatches or grows, it's gonna look vaguely like a little dog?
I I have a
Made as a tree
question.
lord.
Yeah, ask away.
This egg, can I like seahorse it? Because I have like a gooey body, so I could like stick it in my gooey
Of
belly.
course you
to keep
can,
it warm.
Matt. Who am I to stand in the way of your dreams? If you want to experience the miracle of childbirth, what better place than Fresh Out the Box? Fresh Out the Box every Thursday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 Central Standard to 11. You can watch men give birth, women give birth, jellyfish give birth to plant monsters. Anything goes here.
So I'm gonna slowly walk up to him, still with it raised above my head, and I'm going to slowly insert it into his gooey body while I tell him things like,
I consent to this union, and this is in exchange for that length of chain you gave me earlier. Take good care of him.
Oh, fuck it. Both of you, yeah. I want to give everyone one this game. You guys have more than earned it. So go ahead. And
The miracle of fatherhood.
yeah, take a milestone, a minor milestone. Miracle of life, we'll call it. And then
"This is like earning achievements," you know.
Kevin, you could have one, and I'll call it the Seeker of Things, because you have found several secrets, including the entire second half of this adventure that you sensed.
I named mine. I renamed it Jahan Prophet of Dark Tidings.
That's fine.
Okay.
You're a milestone?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know it was something like that, but I forgot what it was, and I was like, yeah, that sounds cool.
The only one I remember, the whisper I gave you was Seed of Doom. That's all.
Yeah, I immediately wrote that down because I was like, that's fucking
So there you
dope.
go. You guys, that was only one of you guys rolling a loot check. So if anyone else wants to hodgepodge around, feel free.
What you found here, Wilson Oz, this is a seed of destruction. There's dark tidings to come for sure. Dark tidings indeed.
You really shouldn't talk about O'Sheen's baby that way. It's quite rude.
You know what they say. Keep the dangerous creatures close and your enemies far away.
You're stabby? Where he grows up big and strong, and then I get to kill it.
Oh, maybe we could grow the two creatures to fight each other, and together they could bring the entire world to its knees, unless you stop them.
Or we could crossbreed them and make something delicious to cook.
Yes, I would quite enjoy the meat of something so exotic.
You guys are awesome.
He's mine!
This has been Killer Roleplay all session. I fucking love it. That's why I gave you all milestones. But yeah, you guys are still standing above like kind of this void. You can move along the side using the ropes fairly easily. You guys are all sailors more or less of the Wild Sea. Does anyone else want to try to acquire, which is what they call it, something?
Yes. I've actually never acquired a specimen. I know that I just looked at his thing, but I don't have a single specimen in my inventory. I'm more of a salvage guy.
Yeah, specimens
Kinda
can be
want some
plants.
organic goo.
Yeah, they can be plants, animals, goo. Which reminds me, earlier, Matt, you totally got a twist when you shot that tentacle to save Misha's character. And I meant to give you a length of vine that fell into the cart. And it's like living vine. It's still kind of...
Oh, nice.
It might be delicious. I don't know. But that's what you have. But yeah, go ahead and try and get a specimen. How are you doing that? What skills are you using?
I'm looking for something as simple as like a fruit on a tree nearby.
Okay, you could use
Grace, wave walk, and I'm still sort of shirking the skin right now.
yeah, go ahead, roll that, and that'll be kind of a the fact that you have that mobility. You got a 5.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that means you get you do acquire something, but it's going to have a negative tag on it. Doesn't mean the whole thing's bad. It's just going to have a bad quality. So you said you were going for a fruit. There are some
Yeah, like
fruits
a
growing up on the tree, and you're gonna pluck one, and it's mushy. It's a mushy fruit, and it's not the best, but it could be useful. So, write down mushy fruit.
Can I call it a lumbo fruit?
Poison.
You can call it a lumbo fruit, sure thing. A mushy
Right.
lumbo fruit.
Perfect.
What does a lumbo fruit look like, Gary? Please describe it to me.
A lumbo fruit is I'm holding up my hands like people who are listening can see. It's like the size of like a pineapple,
Okay.
but it looks sort of like a cucumber mixed with a gourd. Like it has one big end. It gets it's kind of like a J shape.
Okay.
And they're green and bumpy like a cucumber, but this one particularly is mushy. They're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be crisp and crunchy.
Yeah, write that one down. Lungo fruit?
Lumbo
fruit. Sounds like a devil fruit to me. But yeah.
I feel like that would work really well in the fruit salad if it wasn't mushy.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But you can always, anything you get, negative tag or not, there's always some use for it out here on the Wild Sea. Anna, did you want to try and find something too?
Yeah. See if I can find anything that was possibly left here by past victims.
I was wondering if anyone was going to go along that line. Go ahead and roll.
All right.
What do
So
you think you should roll?
so I'm gonna use tides.
Okay.
I'm gonna use tides and scavenge, which I have 1 in.
Absolutely. So tides is exploration, learning, and lore. So absolutely. And then scavenge is your skill, which makes total sense. So go ahead and roll a 2-fer on that.
And maybe, possibly to get an additional bonus on this, I could use my ragged long coat to like venture deeper into the vines and kind of resist whatever damage that might do to me.
Gotcha. So you want to try and use its protection to get further in. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Roll 3 dice on that. I like it. And that's the fun about this game. If you can make it make sense, it makes sense to me. So you do so this is a success with a conflict here. You do go through. You find the sharpest looking vines because you're like, it looks like they're trying to keep something out of here, and you go through them. And you do find a bit of a treasure hoard back there. There are some things. A lot of it's junk. But you are able to find one item that kind of stands out. This is it's gonna be an ornate. What do I want to make it? I'm gonna call it an ornate statuette. What is it a statuette of, Anna?
I'd say it's a statuette of, first of all, I accidentally spelled it wrong and called it a starchuette. So I'd imagine this was a some sort of like god of the sky of maybe some current religion or maybe even a past religion from the old world.
Absolutely. You have a statuette of an old god. It is ornate, so what that tag means is it's worth more money than a typical item. So it is a valuable item that you found here. The conflict here, instead of giving you a negative tag, because of the way that you did this, as you're on your way back, you do rip your coat a little bit. It's not awful.
Right.
It still works as a coat, but you do mark off a track on that.
Yep.
But you got a pretty sweet statuette. You could buy 1,000 jackets for this thing. Well done, everybody. Matt, you could try something, but I feel like you already got what you want.
Yeah, I got exactly what I wanted.
You're pregnant. Congratulations. Yeah, so you guys are now you guys are in this empty flower monster's den, far below the surface of the Wild Sea. What's your plan now?
Why do I feel like Oisin is the definition of the word gregnant?
Gregmint?
What the hell did you call me?
You've never seen those videos of gregnant?
Is that a pregnant Greg?
No, Oh, it's what happens on Yahoo Answers when people don't know how to spell pregnant and they keep saying Gregnant.
Okay. No, excellent.
Does a
Don't
plus
Google
sign
image
mean
search
I'm
that.
pregnant?
Yeah, if you're gonna search it at all, Bing search it.
How can I tell if I'm pregnant?
Dong it.
I think that was part of the consultation. There's like a consultation of people accidentally typing Gregnant.
Yeah. Do you have any intention of naming your child Greg? No. Then you're not pregnant. Pregnant. There's a Greg inside you.
There's a Greg inside a soul.
Concerning.
I don't like this anymore. All right. But yeah.
Greg is the name of your skeleton.
Oh, that makes sense. What do y'all want to do now? Where you want to go? You guys can obviously you can leave. It's not like the way up is impossible. I just need to know narratively what you're choosing here.
Oh, maybe we can use the ropes.
Sure.
I think we go down.
Might I suggest we continue downward?
You want to go deeper?
Might I suggest we continue downward?
Absolutely. So that is a thing. Just because you guys don't have a lot of experience with the tiers of the Wild Sea here, you guys are in still technically the shallows. Below are the depths. And to highlight this point, and it's not me saying no, don't do it by any means. I just want you to be aware. The ground looks like it's moving for a second beneath you when you look down to contemplate moving further down. And then you hear like a whale noise as this leviathan moves in the darkness below. I'm just giving you, just those things are down there. You could totally survive. You could totally go down there, check it out, if that's the story you want.
That there. A creature like that would be the prize we're after.
Oh.
For a whole decade.
I'm just gonna take a moment to more or less examine my personal history, because I'd imagine I originally died to a creature like this, and kind of size it up. Is there a way to kind of size this thing up and see if we can reasonably take it on without dying?
It is, if you were guessing, because you have a very big ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not compared to that thing. That thing's more than double the size of your ship. Possibly, it's probably about 3 times the size of your ship. And that's if it doesn't have legs. If it does have legs, then holy shit, it's pretty big. But no, it's a big one. I was showing you a big one for funsies. You can go fight it, though. Let me go find this thing's name real quick.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna more or less call in my mire, your ancestors' whisper of their disappointment, kind of recall my past life. I think that might be a bit too big for us.
Go ahead
right now.
And mark that mire for me. A little bit of your feeling bad that you're disappointing your ancestors, maybe. Just go ahead and mark it.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, they are down there, though. There are many different kinds. One of them even kind of looks like the nine-tailed fox, which is cool. But yes, if you guys want to go descend into the depths, we can do that. Or you guys can go to your ship.
Nine-tailed fox one?
That one's not down there. That one's not there.
Damn it. Because I want that. Yeah, I'm down to go down, if you know what I mean.
Yes, this is where all the good treasures must be. And we just must avoid the gaze of a creature like that.
I have a question. How far
Scope it out.
would other Ketra be down?
How far would what?
Other Ketra? My bloodline is Ketra, and they are like the underhuman or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty good question. I'll find out and get back to you. But
Sweet.
it sounds like deeper. It sounds like you're not at Kentrip death yet. Yep.
Yeah.
Kentrip.
You want to go tell your family that you're pregnant, Oshin?
I don't know my family.
Oh.
Oh.
You have one growing inside you now.
So your
That's very
people
true.
are the descendants of humans that when all this happened, they couldn't go outside. You know, kind of like the movie The Mist. They were, stuck. So they moved. The only ones that survived were the ones that lived in sturdy stone temples, in mines, and in tunnels. And eventually you guys mutated into these Cthulhu-esque creatures. So the answer is the ground is where you guys are. And under it. So... and those are where your ancient cities are. Not all. You don't know if any live down there still. But those are where your people come from.
Sweet.
FYI.
Yes. Out. I think before taking on something so big, we should be more prepared. Go back up to the ship, rest, get some more heavy weapons.
I can certainly hop down and scope it out and fly back up if you'd like.
It might be better to scope it out, maybe see if we can find anything interesting. But let's not go for the kill at the moment. And Anna looks absolutely terrified.
Yeah. Something like this might have killed you. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull Kevin's character aside.
I think something might be wrong with the girl. Suddenly, she doesn't want to kill monsters. And you think she was possessed by something earlier?
Oh dear. Well?
Maybe something we should keep an eye on throughout the rest of the adventure.
Can I do like a fake sense roll where I don't actually try to discern anything, but I just stare at the back of her head at every chance that I get?
Yeah.
Yep.
No roll required.
You don't have to, no roll to be weird. You could just do that on your own.
It's gonna be weird then. I'm gonna act really weird about it. Like you told me a secret and I'm not being cool.
I'm imagining this monster is the exact type of thing that killed me the first time I went monster hunting.
Yeah, quite possibly. It is a gigantic creature. Do you actually want to fly down there, Kevin? You can. You have wings.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like between stealth and aspect elegant wings. I can glide for a while or fly for a short time. I'm thinking of jumping down there and at least scoping it out. I definitely don't want to engage the Leviathan that we just saw, but I think maybe checking out the area is worth something. We made it all the way down here.
Absolutely. No, I have no issue with that whatsoever. So you fly on down. Give me a roll here. Let's do. You said fails for stealth, right?
Yeah,
and then also
veil
stealth.
and stealth, correct.
And then you have your wings. Flying when you're stealthy and flying, it's hard to detect you. So go ahead and add a dice for that.
So I've got 2 in stealth and then veils at 4 total.
4 total. Yeah.
Boom, there they are. Double 3s and a 6.
Ooh. So that's a
Like a
success.
plan.
That is a complete and utter success with a twist. So you're able to fly down pretty well and see this thing. As you get closer, as it kind of becomes unobscured by the distance, it's still it's getting darker and darker as you go down here. You realize it's not what you're expecting. You don't see flesh, scales, a shell. You see you see an aircraft carrier. A modern aircraft carrier. It looks obviously ruined and destroyed, and you realize this creature is wearing it as a shell.
Whoa!
It is a a turtle-looking creature wearing an aircraft carrier on its back, and it is truly gargantuan. It is a big motherfucker.
I'm gonna gently vomit as I fly over laterally.
There is cool stuff on there, man. As you're flying, you see like there are planes that are destroyed, but they're there. You see like old weaponry, rusted, still on top. There's a lot of stuff going on there. It looks like you could go into the aircraft carrier and like fuck around, but you do see movement on top of the aircraft carrier.
Can I double up here, not to debo the entire thing, but can I use sense to try and figure out what the hell that is that I'm looking at as I fly by? And on my way, I assume back up to the party.
I'll let you see. You see creatures, small, hunched creatures, milling about.
Oh, those are adorable.
They're gross. they're gross. I'm looking at one right now. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm not okay with what I'm looking at, and you aren't either. It's gross. But there's several of them. They're not like out in the open. They are, even though they're down here in their natural habitat, they are still skulking about. And then you hear just animal noises coming from like the walls, just calling out, and you feel like the area is just starting to sense that something's different, something's new here, and it's you. They don't see you or anything, but you've disturbed the ecosystem just by being here. But yeah.
Well, I'm going to fly on back to the party and report what I saw. I'm going to describe this creature. I'm going to tell them that,
And I think it was a male.
going to then go on to describe the amount of salvage that's probably present and the soul-shatteringly adorable creatures that inhabit.
Well, to me it sounds like a slow-moving turtle, stocked full of goods, with adorable creatures on board. I don't see what could go wrong if we went to salvage the place. So
Well,
long as
I
we
should
don't...
mention that the entire area turned hostile as soon as they sensed my presence, so that could be a concern.
You could have led with that. You told us
They'd be
they
like
were...
rapidly nodding.
You told us they were adorable.
Well, they were until they got mad. Then they were simply the nastiest things I ever did see.
That sounds like my ex-wife.
Oh dear.
I can't fucking damn it. I didn't. You got me. I did not see that coming. But yeah, you guys see something really cool, and there is a lot of loot on there. I'm not gonna lie. It's like a whole nother dungeon, man. And it's just walking around down there. So what I'll do, Kevin, you gain the Whisper. What do I want to call it?
Okay.
God damn it. Shipwrecked.
Energy.
Correct.
The shipwreck shell. You can call it the Whisper. So with that Whisper, in theory, if you wanted to, you could, as long as you found an applicable chart, find this place again if you did leave. But you can also go right now. Either way, I'm totally on board. I just wanted to give you the option. I need to get more whispers. I need to get better at that.
Well, one of our party members looks like they're about to pass out from a heart attack, so maybe we should come back a little bit later and regroup. I'd like to check on the ship anyhow.
Sounds good.
All right. If everyone's going, then there's no one for me to protect here with my guns. I'll gladly escort you all back to the ship.
That's the cool thing about whispers and charts. You can see something cool and then potentially have a lead back to it. But no, you guys begin the trek up these trees. At some point, you could, in theory, try to get your ship down here if you wanted to. Or you could just walk.
Well, getting the ship down here would solve an issue.
It would solve an issue. Taking your whole ship to that place is a whole different adventure, and I'm totally down for that too. But yeah, you can summon it with your bird if you want. I feel like that's a good system that you guys have in place there, or you guys can just climb up the old-fashioned way and not risk the ship.
We could ride the ropes.
Yeah, you can ride the ropes up.
We've got like a nice little path too. How we got down.
Yeah, it is. It is a nice path. You guys cleared anything that was in your way out with your bobsled.
Like, you know those ski lifts that are like on bunny hills where you hold on to a rope and it just drags you up?
Mm-hmm.
We could do that back up the chute.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I live in a swamp, so.
Sure. We all live
It's
in
like
a
on
swamp.
it's like on little bunny hills. Instead of using a full lift, there's just like a little rope you can grab onto, and you just balance yourself, and it just drags you up the slope.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you have to like be in the right position, and you can ski up. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, you guys can essentially kind of do that without the motors. But I mean, I guess you could use your kinesis.
So our ship is like a floating salvage yard, right?
Your ship is, yeah, it's a giant hunk of mess.
Garbage.
It's true.
It's basically like a giant eldritch moth nest that we've turned into a tiny city.
Yeah, it is. It is a bunch of salvaged metal plates powered by a hibernating cocoon beast that feeds on dreams. Yes.
It is piloted by a giant demon octopus.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like if we bring it down here, it's only going to help us if we get into some deep shit. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
We could also focus on upgrading our outriders. How many do we have? I have the one I brought with Grandpa.
That's the only one you have.
Well, yeah, I think that brings our current count up to 1.
Well, we can get more outriders.
Yeah, we could steal some.
We can get more outriders, and we can fit them out with epic weapons.
Sure.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yes, likewise, we could also get a lot of creatures to live under our decks, like roaches that melt people's armor. Though I'm not sure I'd want them running rampant in our junk ship. It is food for thought.
Or food in general.
We
Yeah.
can start a ranch of monsters, and then when they get big, I can fight them. But not that thing. Not now. Please, not now.
I used to love the game Monster Rancher when I was a kid. But yeah, so it does sound like you guys are. So you're definitely going back to your ship. Are you going to it? Are you meeting it halfway, or are you going all the way to it, or is it coming to you?
I figure we're meeting it halfway at the, after we did the first fight room, there was like a way
Yes.
up and a way down. Yes, probably that way up there.
So you guys are aided by these ropes that are going all the way down. Back up. You have a little bit of trouble around the hole that you guys jumped, but I don't want to make you guys already did such a good job. You guys are making it on out. I didn't have anything planned for there's no great escape here. It's just kind of like a hike. It's almost nice. You guys see some smaller creatures coming out of the vines now that the grabby evil vines are dead. You see some lizards, and maybe some sort of creature of the simian variety as well. Just kind of looking at you, and then when you get too close, they scatter. But you guys do make it all the way back up. And you can see the rope that's dangling down from the top of the rift through the vines that your bird had culled down here. And I assume you guys want to go up it.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Cool. So yeah, whoever wants to, probably the Mothman with the giant sword. You just part the vines. It's not particularly difficult. They're not fighting back, and it's not like a hacking check. You guys get to the rope. Your ship's still there, much to your joy and excitement. I was actually kind of thinking, I was like, is it though? But yeah, it's still there. You guys pull your way back on up. Everything is as you left it. Your octopus captain suckers about. When he sees you, he salutes with a tentacle.
Oh, that's an awful visual.
I definitely stop and salute him as well and wait for him to carry on.
He walks like this. He always has two arms up. But yeah, so he's just kind of suckling about on the ground. And then the other people you left on here, there are your stargazers that are all Zelakrai, the one made of beetles, the one made of praying mantis, and the one made of ants. And there's also a scholar who I have a name for, finally, thanks to Avenging Penguin. I had a name left over from last night's game. Your scholar's name is Pythagoras Triangle.
Nice.
Seems like a good name for a scholar. And he's also good at making deals because he can see all the angles. Boom. All right. Thank you.
Many ways of looking at things.
I feel like you totally did a 180 on us there, John.
Did you like it? Did you like it?
Jokes.
Let's make all the math jokes. But yeah. So you guys back on
Almost
ship.
formulaic.
But we're here all night, folks. I'm just kidding. We're about to go. So, haha. But yeah, you guys are back on your ship. You guys can do whatever you want here. This is going to be you guys are back after a hard-fought battle. You guys did quite a bit. You guys fought robots and plant monsters and almost died a few times. You know. So, however you cope with that. What describe? I'm gonna have you guys as we're closing out here. Describe your favorite place on the ship. We'll start with any volunteers. I don't want to make someone start.
I can go.
Okay, go ahead.
I think my favorite place is kind of literally hanging out right next to the Eldritch Cocoon. And I'm gonna go down there, before kind of taking care of, responsibilities and recharging time. I kind of want to go down there with Stabby Tooth, and I'm gonna feed him that sweet nectar, since it seems to have some interesting properties. If it's not poisonous, if it's obvious that it's poisonous, but also, I want to start feeding this creature things in order to, boof him up, start building up his abilities.
Yeah. Go ahead and delete your sweet nectar. Stabby Tooth. Yeah. He does. I mean, he might get bigger. It's hard to tell, but he changes color a little bit. He gains this magenta coloring along his back as well. And he engorges his neck. And when he does, it smells kind of sweet and fruity in the air.
Now he can attract victims in order to grow into a big and terrifying monster. And then I give him a hug.
I'm gonna make a note.
I give him a little hug, and I tell him a little story. And I get very excited about my monster baby.
No, excellent. Great scene. So the room, the cocoon that powers your ship is kind of creepy. It is a eldritch cocoon of some unknown horror, potentially. Just nestled right here in the middle of all the scrap, powering everything on your ship that needs power. Using the power of the dreams of the crew. So you guys are all connected to this thing. Because that's what you chose. Who's next? Favorite part of the ship?
So I'm just gonna head up to the highest point on the ship, and I'm just gonna sit up there, rubbing my belly, drinking Arnold Palmer, just laying out.
Absolutely. We'll say the butler will bring you one. Malcolm's character.
So I'll jump in next simply because I was also going to pick the crow's nest, and I think this is sort of perfect because I I go to the highest point on the ship to finally release and be myself. It's the only time that I take my death mask off and my backpack off, and I sit there and sort of meditate. I've got a couple Myers that talk about my color in my wings and my stories starting to fade, and because of my many repupations, I can't really remember what pieces of what lives go where, so it takes a huge toll on me. And so I like to go up to the crow's nest to have like deep reflection time, and I think it's perfect that there's another dude up there drinking Arnold Palmer's tanning with his belly out while I'm trying to be deep and access myself, because it's sort of just par for the course.
Yeah, you're up there meditating, and he's up there thinking about what's ahead. Gary, that leaves you. What's your favorite part of the ship, buddy?
So I know if I were an NPC where you could find me on the ship, and that is at night. I am with the other Selachrai stargazers, and during the day you can't find any of us because we're just all over the place on the ship.
You guys disintegrate into bugs.
That's exactly right. During the day we're just spiders in corners on webs feeding, but we're still sentient colonies.
Join us next week for Catacorium.
We play a game in a game.
We could totally play Catacorium on this ship.
So yes, as we get back to the ship that evening, as night sets in, I'll be standing on the deck with the other stargazers, just staring, not moving, in almost an unsettling way. As you hear the clicks of all the different bugs crawling over themselves at each other while we stand there and stare.
Excellent. So now that we know where everyone is, as you guys start to sail off a bit away from this rift, the rift has started to slow. The trees are no longer cascading into this hole rapidly. They've kind of slowed, and things are starting to settle and starting to sway a bit. This event, however, did not go beyond notice. You guys, specifically, Matt, since you're the only one that's up high and aware of your surroundings, you do think you see a ship off on the horizon, and you don't know if they see you.
I imagine there's a bell near me, and I'm just going to start ringing it.
So I'm going to jerk out of my meditation and turn around and look at him like, what the fuck?
Ship ho. And that is where we're going to leave it for this week. This has been Wild Seed by Felix Isaacs. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you for all the boons, dooms, friendly words, and naming NPCs. Thank you for the raid. And just thank you for being our friends and fans, and we love you guys. I have been the Game Master Johananon at RockFact on Twitter, at Johananon1 on TikTok, if you're into that kind of thing.
I'm the co-host, Casualty CDG, and if you want to see me and Jahan all the time, or Jahan and I, if you want to be a grammar person, we're on every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also, we have Fresh Out the Podcast. That's on Sundays. A new episode comes out every single Sunday. That's when Jahan and I talk about movies and games and streaming shows, and our friend Drew joins us for the chat. He's sort of the Oscar nominee, cinephile type of guy who brings us some sort of credit to our nerdism.
A bit of respectability.
That's right. So if you want to check that out, that's Fresh Out the Podcast. Give it a listen. And if you want to see more board games and tabletop games, or your friends are into that, send them our way. We'll teach them about non-Dungeons & Dragons games 24/7. And it's nothing personal against Dungeons & Dragons. It's just that we've seen it and we've played it. So we like to look at the new systems and the stuff that other people are making. Well again, thank you for being here. Thanks for the follows, and we appreciate you guys immensely.
See more from me. Every Tuesday I appear on the podcast Dice Carnival. Our Twitter is Carnival Dice, and we play in another completely different version of a post-apocalyptic setting, which is possibly just as weird. Also, if you want to see some of my general ramblings and some drawings, you can also follow my personal Twitter, Misha Siegel. It's been wonderful to play, and I'm so excited for next week.
And hey, folks, I'm Matt Murphy. Tonight I have been Oshin the Lost. And you can catch me back here next week. Same Matt time, same Matt channel.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for all the activity in the chat. I am Kevin. Bye.
Have a good night, everybody. Stay fresh. See you next time.